never like to play as hard as we did and come up with loss, but I think we just showed that we're growing up a little. We're showing that we're adjusting mentally, emotionally to this level of play that we have to consistently have night in and night out in order for us to be successful. This team has been somewhat challenging in a lot of ways. Probably one of the more inexperienced teams we have, but just not having the veterans that we've been accustomed to having to show the way, this team has had a hard time adjusting. But I think tonight, I think they took a step in the right direction. We got a long ways to go. We had some spurts the other night where I thought that we had 3 possessions offensively where we took some quick shots, but we wanted Cam Corn to take those threes. We think he's going to be a really, really good shooter, but it takes time sometimes for freshmen to gain that confidence. We had 2 ill-advised turnovers, and we only had turned the ball over 8 times, but 8 times for the game. But the turnovers that we made were at critical times that I thought really, really put us in a tough spot. One thing that's good that we're playing high-level competition from here on out, so we got to be at our very, very best. Purdue's a really good basketball team. We had a hard time stopping the big fella inside. We had no intentions of letting him catch the ball that deep in there and shooting those jump hooks, but he's a handful in there, to keep the ball away from him, and they do a very good job with getting the ball to him. They're a much better perimeter shooting team than what they showed tonight, but I thought our guys did a very good job of getting to them, and several guys shooting over 40% from 3. So I think our guys are showing that a little bit of progress. Now we got to manage our body and manage our energy, and we mentally and emotionally we got to get back now and go on the road to play I think they're ranked number 3 in the country. So we need that type of challenge though to help us find ourselves.
Questions for Coach, please.
Leonard, what did you learn from your team tonight, if anything? Did they have come out with a more, I don't know, they're a competitive team, but more competitive spirit? What was the difference, you think, tonight?
We sustained our effort for longer periods of time. And even though Chandler's been in 7 practices and Dante's been in about 5 the entire year because of the injuries that they just got cleared from, their minutes were valuable to us. They were able to give us a couple minutes here, a couple minutes here, so that we could give those guys a break. We tried to sub them around the timeouts and give out more experienced players, if that's what you want to call us, some opportunity to get a breather here and there. And I thought that was very valuable to us, especially in the first half when the games were going back and forth, and it was a very competitive game. So just having them for a couple of minute spurts, I thought was valuable. Worley didn't score tonight. I think he missed 5 shots, but I thought his floor leadership was pretty good. I thought his defense was excellent, and they put us in a position where we had a chance. But I did learn the fact that we still are growing. We got a ways to go. We got to find ways to keep growing mentally and emotionally. We didn't get a whole lot better over the weekend. I think we growing mentally and emotionally, where we understand the level of energy that we have to play with, and how we have to play to each other, how we got to create for each other, share the ball, share the playing time. And I thought we showed some progress in those areas tonight.
How do you feel like you guys can take this, right? Like you're talking about the effort from start to finish. How can you take that and continue it going forward?
Well, listen, you guys ask a lot of questions, and from a philosophical standpoint, the bottom line is we got to sustain it. That's it. I could give you, I don't have a crystal ball, and I hope we haven't forgot the coach in a year's time. But I just think that this is part of who we are now. We think we have some good pieces, but it's got to grow and it's got to mature. We got freshmen there in positions where how they play makes a difference in whether or not we're successful or not. We have second-year guys that are carrying the mail that we have not had that level of stress on second-year guys. We've always had third and fourth-year guys sitting the table, and the first and second-year guys, you know, being supportive players, with the exception of some of the guys that were only here for 1 or 2 years. But that's part of the growth of our program, and we've set a standard that's high. We got to live up to it, and we challenge them every day. A lot of it's maturing and adjusting to the level that we're playing at. And we got guys trying to get to a place where they never have been. And so, you know, it's challenging to learn how to get there. We're going to keep pushing them, keep holding them accountable, and I think you'll see continued progress as we move through the rest of the season.
How can this game, as effective, as efficient as it was for Matthew, be something to build off of for him?
Well, Matthew, he's a sophomore and he's still learning and growing. I mean, in this day and time, everyone expects it to be instant. You know, we're looking for instant gratification. And the level that we're competing at is just not quite the way that is. You know, especially when you're growing like we are. Matthew settled in. We've been challenging him to play with confidence. The night the game slowed down for him a little bit. He played within himself. He got into the dots and around the free throw line, and that's where he's most effective. And we told him before the game, if you open uncontested threes, shoot them, and he made one. I mean, so in a critical part of the game, I think a lot of that still just growing up and maturing. You know, this is who we are, and you'll see us get better and better as we move through the remainder of the year, as our guys get more and more experience and understand how to play to each other and with each other and for each other. I think you'll see us keep growing as long as our effort is what it was tonight, and then we continue to improve on it.
As challenging as their offense can be to defend overall, did you like how you guys defended, and did you think you made it pretty tough on them?
Well, when you look at the shooting percentages and what they're capable of doing, you got to say that we did a pretty good job, except on the big fella. And, everyone's had trouble with him. He's a different kind of guy, you know. And I thought we could have done a much better job on him. And he had to fight and earn what he got. So I was pleased with that. He didn't, but that's what elite players will do. And I have to put him in that elite category. You know, that's who he is. And that made it easier for the other guys to be effective, because you had to give him so much attention that sometimes you gave some driving lines up because you couldn't afford to help off the big guy. And I thought their guards were extremely clever. I thought they played with a lot of poise. And I thought we put a really good defensive effort on them, and they maintained their poise for the most part. And I thought that was the biggest key in the game. When we were repped up our defense, I thought the challenge that we didn't live up to was the fact that they got by us on some dribble drives, and that kind of broke our back. You know, we were guarding their sets, guarding the offense, and we were very well prepared for that. But it was just their quickness and speed and their confidence for a little guy to just blow by and get in there and then set and not panic and make a layup, find some people, have kickouts. But that's part of who they are, and that's why they ranked as high as they are.
Any more questions for Coach?